Okay, for example, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. Okay, your browser that you install in your devices. Okay, Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. Okay, that's example of the application software. Okay, so apa tu application software that we talk later after this. Okay, and before you install the application software, you must have the operating system. Okay, operating system, for example, for your laptop, you have a Mac OS, okay, Linux ke, or you install Windows. Okay, for example, kalau korang beli laptop, automatically ada Windows lah, Windows 10 ke, 11 ke, 8.1, 7. Okay, it depend on the specification of your devices and is the operating system that can be installed into your devices. Okay, and also the function of the operating system is to manage the hardware and also the application software. Sebab tu operating system is like a soul. Okay, so dia macam manusia. Okay, you can imagine like a human. Okay, you have the hardware. Okay, you have the physical. Okay, for example, your phone kan, your laptop. Okay, how the device function is depend on the operating system. Okay, maksudnya operating system ni kita boleh anggap dia macam nyawa. Okay, kalau tak ada operating system, then the hardware and also the application software is not functional. Okay, sebab tu bila korang start your laptop, tak pun phone, dia akan keluar lambang operating system tu, Windows ke, Mac OS ke, Android ke, and so on. Sebab dia running operating system first, okay, baru korang boleh buka, for example, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and so on, dekat phone tak pun laptop korang. Okay, so if you understand about this picture, okay, picture belah kanan tu, so this we talk about for chapter 2. Okay. Okay, so this is some of the example lah. Okay, first we need to have the hardware lah. Okay, then how we want to operate the hardware, you need to have the operating system. Okay, and then you can install the application software that you want to use. Okay, it's depend on application software that you want to use lah. Okay, tak semestinya wajib kena install semua. Okay, kalau nak pakai, for example, tak nak pakai Google Chrome lah, saya nak pakai apa, Safari, then you can install Safari. Okay, no problem. Okay, and also yelah, bila korang dah buat hardware, dah ada operating system, you need to have the user to use the device, okay, and also the application kan. So we are the users. Okay, for software type, macam saya cerita tadi lah. Okay, we have the system software, which is the operating system, and also the application software. Okay, so system software is a program installed in a computer to control and work with the computer hardware. Okay, so dia akan manage all the chapter 1 yang kita cerita semalam tu, last week. Okay, for example, the storage, the RAM, the CPU. Okay, another devices, for example, input, output devices is managed by the operating system. Okay, so that's why you need to have the operating system or system software. Okay, then for example, you want to facilitate communication through WhatsApp, then you need to install WhatsApp in your devices. That's we call as the application software lah. Okay, so application software is a program that are used by most users to complete their daily tasks. Okay, daily task, for example, you want to have a video conference. Okay, boleh install Zoom. Okay, tak nak pakai Zoom, you want to use Meet. Okay, tak pun Teams, it depend. Okay, mana satu yang korang nak pakai. Okay, there are no kewajipan kena install ni. Tak, it depend on your suitable. Okay. Okay, setiap software ni dia ada owner dia. Okay, sebab apa kena ada owner? There are someone that invested on the software. For example, Facebook kan. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg create the Facebook. Okay, so dia adalah owner of the software. Okay, sama ada dia nak jual ke, dia nak cari pelabur untuk invest lagi dekat software dia, it depend. But all software, they have their own ownership. Okay, for example, kalau korang pergi, tak pun, if you want to learn about creating apps, okay, so you are the owner of the app because you create the apps. Okay, so you are the owner. Okay, so all software they have their ownership. Okay, so software ownership ialah talk about under the copyright law. Okay, so copyright law ni bukan kita cakap saya create, lepas tu kita cakap yang tu kita punya. You need to apply for copyright. Okay, maksudnya kenapa korang kena apply copyright? Kan bila korang beli satu barang kan dia ada tunjuk R yang bulat kecil tu. Okay, maksudnya dia registered under copyright law. Okay, for example, kalau someone tiru, okay, your product, okay, including your registered name, okay, korang boleh saman. Okay, that's the function of the copyright law to protect the ownership of the product or the software. Okay, so the creator of the software is the owner of the copyright and it is granted an exclusive right for its use and distribution. Okay, for example, you are owner of this phone. Okay, korang beli kan, so it's under your copyright lah as a user. Okay, korang nak bagi dekat siapa pakai, it's depend on you. Okay, how to distribute the software. For example, kalau korang nak buat charity ke, you want to help other people's yang want to help them to going online class, for example, kan, you have the right to distribute. Okay, it's depend on you because you are the owner of the things at that time. Okay. Okay, for software, we have two types of ownership. So the first one is the open source software. Okay, and the second one, we call it a proprietary or closed source software. Okay, we have two types of ownership. Okay. So what's the difference between the open source and the proprietary software? So open source is normally developed by a community of developers. Okay. So dia developed by a community of developers. Tak semestinya satu lah. It can be more than one community or single person developers pun boleh contribute. Okay. So users may use the software as well as modify them. Okay. So selain daripada kita menggunakan software tu, okay, if you have a knowledge to modify the software, then you can contribute on the version, the new version, for example. Okay, for example, open source software, okay, for operating system kita ada Linux. Okay, Linux is one of the open source operating software for system. Okay, operating system. Okay, there are a lot of community for developing the or upgrading the operating system for the Linux. Okay, because this is open source. Okay, apa yang korang kena tahu, you need to know about the programming parts lah, because you want to set the new instruction or you want to change or you want to upgrade the instruction for the software. Okay, so for open source software, basically it's a free software and available under a copyright license. Okay, walaupun kita boleh ubah kod dia, maksud kita we can get the source code but it's also under copyright license. Okay, walaupun kita boleh download, kita boleh ubah, tapi it's still under protected copyright license. Maksudnya dia still ada ownership. Okay, some company or some person is owner of the software. Okay, but this is free for download. Okay, and the second one, we have the proprietary software. Okay, so proprietary software is a software owned by individual or organization. Okay, walaupun open source software is under copyright license, maksud ada owned juga by individual or organization. It is sometimes referred as closed source software, which means user may use the software but cannot make any changes. Okay, that's the difference between open source dengan proprietary. Okay, open source kita boleh ubah kod dia kalau kita pandai. Okay, you can upgrade, okay, you can do changes, you can upgrade the security, for example. You can see the programming parts. Okay, but for proprietary, even though it's free ke, copyright license ke, kita boleh guna saja. Kita tak boleh ubah dia punya source code. Okay, we cannot see the program. Okay, we cannot do any changes because we are just the end user. Okay, kita pengguna akhir saja. We doesn't have the power to change the source code of the program. Okay, so the owner of the software have the right to modify and add features to the program, and also the source code and can be sold. Okay, for example, okay, browser. Browser for open source, example adalah Mozilla Firefox. Mozilla Firefox, if you go to the developer of the community, you can join the part for upgrading or change the interface, for example, or change the function or upgrade the security. But for example, another example for proprietary, okay, Google Chrome, okay, Safari is a proprietary software, which is you can download and install either free or paid, okay, but you cannot do any changes on the function and the software itself. Okay, we just use the program. Okay, any changes is depend on the owner of the software. Okay, for example, tiba-tiba dia minta korang update kan. Okay, maksudnya the company push new update for the users. Okay, we just use. We cannot do any changes. Okay, for proprietary software is divided into three types. Okay, for the first one is the commercial software, second one is the freeware, and last is the shareware. Okay, let's go for the first one. Okay, so the first one is the commercial software for proprietary software type. Okay, so okay, still since di bawah proprietary software, which means the software is owned by a company or individual. Okay, sebab tu dia jatuh bawah proprietary. Okay, but for commercial software, it's not free software. Okay, totally not free. Even test trial ke tak ada. Okay, you need to pay first, then you can use after you install the software. Okay, maksudnya korang kena beli software ni baru boleh pakai. Okay, kalau tak, mungkin korang cari crack ke, it depend on you lah. So basically, it's not a free software. You need to buy. Okay, you need to purchase for the license. Okay, and it cannot be copied or distributed. Okay, and the source code is kept secret. Okay. Okay, the second one is the freeware. Okay, freeware is a type of proprietary software that is free, but the user cannot change the source code because the source code is kept secret. Okay, for example, WhatsApp, okay, Instagram, Facebook, apa yang korang install semua tu is a free software. Okay, but you cannot do any changes. Okay, either you want to install or uninstall from your devices. Itu saja yang kita boleh buat. Okay, so if you install, then you can use the software lah. Okay, the program. Okay. And the third one is the shareware. Shareware is a type of proprietary software which is initially free of charge to user. Okay, so awal-awalnya adalah percuma. Okay, for example, trial for 15 days, okay, trial for 30 days, dia bagi korang bagi guna untuk free saja dulu. Okay, so after a certain period, okay, user may have to purchase the software in order to use them. Okay, so lepas trial tu, if you want to continue to use the software, then you need to pay. Okay, biasanya shareware ni kita jumpa dekat antivirus software. Okay, ada banyak lagi lah. Okay, antivirus lah commonly. Okay, dia bagi korang trial 30 days for premium. Kan, after 30 days tu, if you want to continue, so you need to pay for certain amount of fee lah. Okay, so kenapa dia buat marketing scheme dia macam tu? Sebenarnya dia nak bagi experience dekat user untuk gunakan sistem yang terbaik. Okay, sistem yang terbaik daripada company dia boleh provide kepada user lah. Okay, so if you want to continue, then you need to pay lah. So dia bagi satisfactory, user have the experience first. Okay, you get the experience from the software. If you're satisfied to continue, then you need to pay. Okay, otherwise either you uninstall, okay, or you using the free version only, which limitation of the function. Okay, it depend on the software itself lah. Okay.
Sir, nak tanya.
Yes.
Kalau yang shareware software tu, kalau software tu dia ada macam free trial ke, lepas tu nanti kita pakai, lepas tu nak subscribe, tu adalah shareware. Contoh macam YouTube Premium dulu.
Yes. Dia bagi kita try dulu.
Okay,
faham? Macam, okay, saya bagi korang pakai locator saya, for example, sehari 2 hari, lepas tu korang rasa puas hati, lepas tu nak beli ke tak? Macam tu. Kalau tak nak beli, tak apalah. Kalau nak beli, then you continue with the purchase lah. Macam tu. Dia bagi kita pakai dulu premium. Sebab biasanya yang trial ni, dia akan bagi kita yang premium function dulu. Maksudnya, for example, you can search or detect malware ke, for example. Okay, maksudnya security dia more tight compared to the free version lah. Okay, that's the function. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Good question, no problem. Okay, so this is the different between the open source and the proprietary. Okay, you can read later lah. Sama je macam saya cerita tadi. Okay, is either you can modify the software or it doesn't. You cannot access the software to modify. Okay, that's the difference lah. Okay, and this is the table of differentiation for proprietary software and also open source. Okay, for proprietary ada 3 kan. Okay, you can see the difference between the commercial software, freeware and also the shareware. Okay, and also some of the example of the software that related to the type lah. Okay. Okay, let's go for the first one, which is the system software. Okay. Okay, this is the common operating system for laptop or PC yang kita akan jumpa lah. Okay, lagi-lagi for Windows and Mac OS. Okay, I think most of us are using Windows. Okay, including me, are using Windows. Okay, siapa yang pakai Apple, I think the Mac OS or Macintosh operating system is a common for you. Okay, even though the interface is a little bit different. Okay, and also the function. Okay, yang tengah tu mungkin ramai orang tak tahu. Itu. Okay, yang tengah tu ialah Linux. This is one of the open source operating system. Macam saya cerita tadi lah, open source operating system for OS ialah Linux. Okay, Linux dia ada banyak distribution. Okay, dia ada Ubuntu, ada Kali Linux for penetration testing, untuk hacking, you can use Kali Linux. Okay, ada Red Hat, banyak lagi lah. Okay, pecahan dia. Okay, so each of the operating system for Linux, for example, Ubuntu ni lebih kepada general purpose application. Okay, untuk kerja-kerja harian. Dia lebih kepada ada words. Okay, as you can see, dia pun ada Mozilla Firefox. Okay, sebab tu Mozilla Firefox ni dia bawah open source operating system. Okay, you can have the software, you can modify, and you can upgrade. Okay, so ICT student mungkin korang lagi-lagi kalau pergi dekat engineering part for network, korang akan belajar more on Linux lah. Okay, bila korang bermain dengan server. Jadi engineering student yang ambil, ataupun ICT student yang terlibat dengan ICT kan, mungkin korang akan belajar dengan Linux. But Linux is free for you to download. You can go to browser then download the Linux. Okay, how to use the Linux? It can be installed in your pen drive, then cucuk dekat laptop, you can operate, no problem. Okay, boleh cari kat YouTube how to install Linux into your pen drive and turn on into your laptop or PC, no problem. And also, basically our phone is using a Linux operating system. Walaupun kita cakap saya pakai Android, okay, sebenarnya Android is developed using the Linux. Okay, di bawah Linux. Okay. Okay, definition of the system software. So basically, system software is a collection of program that handle the operating of the hardware. Okay, so you remember gambar yang first ada user, ada application software, ada operating system, then we have the hardware. Okay, so from the time the user turn on the computer, the system hardware will start interacting and handling the hardware. So bila kita turn on our computer ke laptop, your phone, apa yang korang nampak dulu ialah lambang operating system. Okay, that's the common thing. Okay, sebelum korang nampak Word semua tu, korang nampak operating system dulu. Okay, bila korang turn on your devices. Okay, so there are 4 types of the system software. Okay, first one is the operating system. Okay, that we are talking now. Okay, and second one we have the utilities, device level, and also the language translator. Okay. So operating system used to control and manage the computer memory. Okay, memory refer kepada RAM lah. Okay, and process activity as well as it is a software and the hardware. Okay, so software kita refer kepada application software. Okay, website, Instagram semua tu. Hardware maksudnya the component lah, electronic component for your devices. Okay. So the operating system installed in the computer storage device, and they all need to access the CPU, memory, and the storage. So the operating system coordinate all of this to make sure each program get what it's need. Okay, so senang cerita, operating system ni dia macam soul kepada CPU. Okay, Okay, even though we know CPU is control all the activities, but operating system is like the soul of the CPU. Okay. Okay, this is the function of the operating system in our devices. Okay, commonly is used to provide the user interface. Okay, so apa yang korang nampak dekat screen sekarang ni, gambar, teks semua tu, okay, is managed by the operating system. Okay, and also the operating system is used to manage hardware. Okay, input-output devices, a monitor, a keyboard, mouse, everything. Okay, is managed by the operating system. Okay, that's why the operating system is between the hardware and the application software, and also the user itself. Okay, and also the function of the operating system to run the application. Okay, Instagram, WhatsApp, semua yang korang install tu, kalau tak ada operating system, then it cannot be run. Okay, it cannot be used. Okay, and also the function is to facilitate booting and shutting down. Okay, shutting down ni saya rasa semua orang tahu kot, you shut down your device. Okay, sebelum nak tidur kan, tak pun dah habis tengok movie, nak golek-golek kan, kau shutting down your devices. Okay, booting is turn on or restart. Okay, booting ada dua, cool boot and warm boot, nanti kita cerita kemudian. Okay. Okay, next forward file management. Okay, basically you're creating file kan dalam laptop or PC korang, tak pun dalam phone. Okay, creating file for image, creating file for documents for example. Tak pun dekat laptop korang kan, you create file for ICT subject, math subject, physics subject. Okay, and you put all the your assignment, okay, your PowerPoint slide, okay, everything. Okay, it's the function to provide file management. Okay, so the last one is to manage the system resources, okay, for memory and also the CPU. So basically operating system ni, they take over all the process, okay, between the application software, okay, to communicate with the users using the user interface, and also to manage the hardware, okay, the memory, CPU, the storage, and so on. Okay. Okay, booting and shutting down, we have a cool boot and warm boot. Okay, tak payah confuse. Okay, when you totally shutting down your devices, dia akan pergi kepada cool state, dia sejuk. Okay, so when you turn on, that's why we call it as a cool boot. Okay, from the cool state to warm state, we call it a cool boot. Okay, so sebab tu your phone or your devices, the temperature is rises when it's turned on. Okay, so that's why if you restart, we call it as a warm boot. Okay, warm boot is a process of operating system to restart the computer. Okay, from warm state to a warm state, we call it a warm boot lah. You just restart your computer. Okay. Okay, provide user interface. Okay, this is how we interact between user and the computer. Okay, we have two types. The first one using the command line interface. Okay, and the second one is using the graphical user interface. Okay, so what is a command line interface? So command line interface require the user to interact with the operating system by typing command or code to perform a specific task. Okay, so that's example kat bawah ni lah. Okay, so you can try later after this. Okay, this is for Windows users saja. Okay, you can click on the window button. Okay, click window button. So nanti korang type CMD to run the command prompt. Okay, then click enter. So this is the command line interface to interact with the user. Okay. So by default dia akan pergi dekat C, users, and nama korang punya laptop ataupun PC lah. Okay, for example, my PC name, my laptop name is mini station. Okay, so this is how we interact with the computer. Okay, for example, kalau saya type based on the instruction type directory kan, dir. Dir is a short form for directory. Maksudnya saya nak tengok apa file ataupun dokumen yang ada dalam mini station. Okay, directory. So basically dalam mini station ada file yang ni. Okay. Okay, tak apa, nanti saya tunjuk lagi apa beza GUI pula. Okay, the second one is to provide user interface by using the GUI. Okay, so GUI require the user to interact with the operating system by using the mouse to access window, icon and menus. Okay, maksudnya korang boleh klik saja using mouse sebab because we interact with the graphic. Okay, graphic for example gambar ke, okay, the picture, the image, image of the folder for example, kita just click folder. Okay, but GUI you can see the folder, okay, but for command line korang takkan nampak folder, korang nampak folder name saja. Okay, so this is the example, the comparison between the command line interface, okay, dengan GUI. Okay, saya akan tunjukkan the difference between GUI dengan command line yang ada dalam laptop saya. Okay, so tadi kita dah tengok command line. Okay, let's see about the GUI. Okay, you can go to the file explorer. Okay, klik folder kat bawah ni kalau yang ada lah. Okay. So dia akan starting dekat C. As you can see here, the directory is C, users dengan mini station. Okay, so here we have a C. Okay, so ada users and mini station. So yang ni yang ada dalam laptop saya tadi. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, IPython, Jupyter, okay, 3D objects, okay, Anaconda tree. So this is the difference between command line interface. Okay, this is the command line interface and this is the GUI. GUI sebenarnya kita just click, okay, double click to open kan. But GUI, you cannot double click the text. You need to give the command. Okay, for example, saya nak buka apa desktop. Okay, I want to see anything from the desktop. Okay, I need to have the command cd jarak desktop. Okay, cd is change directory. Maksudnya the command dia adalah change directory. So this is the instruction that I give to the computer. Okay, change directory from mini station to desktop. Okay, kalau saya klik enter, so dia dah tambah, dia dah membiak dah. Okay, so this is the difference between command line interface dengan GUI. Tapi kalau dekat GUI ni, saya pergi dekat desktop, just double click saja. Okay, so banyaklah folder dalam ni. Ni semua saya punya kerja lah. Okay, so as you can see the difference between the GUI and the command line. Okay, kenapa ada GUI dengan command line? Okay, if you remember for last week, talking about the first computer that distribute to the user, size dia 5 MB saja, betul tak? Okay, at the earlier computer, dia doesn't have any GUI lagi. Okay, dia tak ada GUI, dia ada command line saja. So basically, komputer yang dulu-dulu dia communicate with the computer using command line. So they need to remember all the command instruction for the computer. Okay, sekarang ni kita je buka komputer, double click to open the file or to run the application semua kan. Okay, dulu tak, you need to change directory, to find the directory, to open the directory file semua macam-macam lah. So it take a lot of time. So the GUI is most easiest way to communicate between the computer and the end user. Okay, so that's why they create the GUI. Okay, next is to run the application software. Okay, for example, PowerPoint, okay, Words, okay, WhatsApp, Facebook, and so on that you install in your devices. Okay, that's the function of the operating system. Maksudnya, operating system, okay, your operating system to manage the application software that you install. Okay. Okay, manage hardware, for example, mouse, keyboard, and so on. Okay, anything that you type, okay, if you detect by the your input devices, okay, sent to the computer, okay, to the CPU to process, okay, and managed by the operating system. Okay. Okay, manage system resources, for example, the CPU and also the RAM. Okay, system resources. Okay, power file management, for example, you creating file, okay, you delete the file, okay, you rename the file, for example, okay, to manage, to provide the file management. Okay. Okay, this is the category of the operating system. Okay, we have three basic categories. Okay, the first one is the embedded operating system. Okay, the second one is the desktop or standalone. Okay, desktop or standalone. Okay, and the third one is the network operating system. Okay, maksudnya operating system tu is function using a network connection. Okay. So for the first one is the embedded operating system. So this category of operating system is stored or embedded within a device like a smartphone, tablet, okay, TV turntable box, and so on. Okay, basically it's under a small gadgets devices lah. For example, your phone. Okay, even though we buy the phone, okay, already include the operating system. For example, Android or iOS. Okay, is embedded. During the production line, dia orang dah embed, dia dah masukkan operating system tu dalam devices tu. So we cannot change the operating system. Okay. And okay, that's example lah. Okay, Android, iOS, and Windows 10 Mobile. Okay. Okay, the second one is the desktop or standalone operating system. Okay. So the operating system for this category is located on the computer hard disk. Okay, for example, our laptop, okay, our PC, server, okay, and so on. The operating system is installed in the storage, the secondary storage, hard disk ke, SSD, pen drive ke, SD pen. Okay. But the operating system can be changed. For example, saya tak nak lah pakai Windows, lepas tu malam nanti saya install Linux pula. Okay, it can be done like that. That's why it called as a desktop or standalone operating system. Okay, it's not embedded. Embedded maksudnya korang dah tak boleh tukar dah. Kalau korang beli yang ni Android, automatically sampai jangka hayat dia habis pun memang Android saja. Okay, but your laptop you can change the operating system. Okay, but it's depend on the hardware capabilities. Okay, kalau hardware tu tak support, then you can install the operating system. Okay, so you need to check the CPU, okay, the RAM limitation, for example, okay, the requirement of the software to install. Okay. And the last one is the network operating system. Okay. So this category of operating system is used to control and coordinate computer on a network. So you need to connect your laptop, PC, or any devices, okay, to a network for you to operate the operating system. Okay. For example, yang ni kita install dekat terminal. Kalau korang pernah jumpa terminal, cari je dekat Dell ke, HP ke, brand yang keluarkan computers. Okay, you can search for terminal. Okay, terminal ni dia tak ada operating system dalam tu. Okay, you need to set up one server to hosting the operating system for each terminal. Okay, each terminal korang boleh letak lah as a workstation. Okay, maksudnya korang tak perlu beli seorang satu PC untuk dia orang. Korang beli satu terminal kecil saja. And all the system file, the operating system, the application that install will be go to dedicated server. Okay, maksudnya kalau your network server for your company down, then semua orang tak boleh buat kerja lah, because it's depend on the networks. Okay, so network engineer nanti korang akan faham lah kot. Bila korang nak set up operating system or computer PC for workstation for your staff, for example. Okay, using a network operating system.
So nak tanya boleh?
Boleh tanya?
Apa kebaikan buat macam tu? Macam satu je operating system, tak macam disadvantage sangat?
It's depend on the company punya solution. Okay, for example, dia nak kurangkan okay, bila korang beli laptop, for example, you need to have a license for Windows. Betul tak? So korang nak beli satu license saja dan boleh guna untuk 1,000 orang. Korang beli satu saja license and can be used by 100 or 1,000 of your users dekat satu company, for example. Instead of korang beli satu laptop, and setiap laptop kena ada operating system sendiri yang korang kena subscribe. For example, setiap setahun you need to renew the license. So investment dekat situ banyak. Melainkan korang bagi duit kat user, your client, your staff kan, Saya bagi 2,000, then kau belilah apa-apa. Kalau lebih, you tambah sendiri. It's depend on your business function lah, or your staff, or your management functionality. Dia ada pro and cons lah between you're using the embedded operating system, the standalone operating system dengan network operating system. Kalau engineer tu rasa nak kerja senang, tak pun technician kan, dia nak kerja senang, dia install network operating system saja dekat dia punya company. Okay, for example, laptop saya ada problem. Okay, saya tak boleh, tak pun kena attack ke semua kan, by threat ke virus so on. Technician, dia just reboot saja. Or dia restart je, automatically dia akan copy daripada satu main clone software, then dia replace saja. So kita tak perlu datang ke site, okay, tengok laptop user, tak perlu. You can do remotely because all the operating system is connected to the server. Tu dia punya pro untuk network operating system lah. Technician can facilitate or do maintenance or troubleshooting online saja. Tak perlu datang ke tempat tu. That's example of the pro lah. Cons dia, kalau tak ada network, for example network down dekat facility tu kan, then semua tak boleh buat kerja. Because you depend on the network connection between your terminal, tak pun your laptop, to the server. Yang ni kalau korang pergi UIA Gombak nanti korang akan jumpa ni. Sebab UIA Gombak dia pakai network operating system. Tapi bukan untuk student lah. Biasanya untuk staff dia orang punya PC. Okay, so network down semua tak boleh bekerja. So dia ada pro and con lah kat situ. Okay, faham tak? Saya rasa korang blur sikit sebab network operating system ni not common use.
So, sir,
yes.
yang network operating system ni biasanya accountants guna kan?
Yes.
Accountants.
It depend. Tak semestinya accountant. Dekat admin pun boleh pakai.
Maksudnya kalau office tu ada dia guna network operating system, maksudnya nak buat kerja kat rumah pun boleh macam tu?
Yang ni awak cakap pasal TeamViewer ke?
Ya ke? Tak tahu.
Bukan, dia tak sama.
Tak sama.
Nanti saya share network operating system punya example kalau ada. Okay, dia sebenarnya dalam device tu, terminal tu, for example PC tu, dia tak ada Windows, dia tak ada langsung Windows, but it can be connected to a network. So nanti dia akan grab all the application, all files semua daripada server yang hosting the network operating system. Dia leceh sikit, memang ini blur sikit sebab it's not a commonly used dekat public. Okay, biasanya company, big company yang invest ni, dia nak easy to facilitate ni semua tu, dia akan pakai network operating system lah. Okay. Tak apa, nanti share example lah kalau saya jumpa. Okay. Okay, for utilities are programmed to manage and maintain the general housekeeping tasks for the computer. Okay, for example, antivirus program, okay, file compression program, okay, system maintenance program, backup program, and also troubleshooting. Okay, that's example of the utilities program inside the function of the operating system. Okay. Okay, so antivirus program helps to protect your computer system against viruses or any threat. Okay, for example, virus. Okay, virus apa yang korang tahu? Biasanya attack dekat komputer tak pun laptop or your phone.
Yang shock.
Trojan.
Yes, Trojan, shortcut virus. Mungkin ada certain tahulah. Apa lagi? Malicious software.
Adobe Flash Player rasa.
Adobe Flash Player is not a virus. Yang tu Flash Player untuk play video.
Oh.
Lagi? Antivirus yang kau pernah dengar? Saya rasa 2017 ada satu attack. A big attack on around the world through the network. Okay, yang ni benda nama dia. Kejap, nama apa? Virus attack 2017. Ransomware WannaCry. Pernah dengar tak? It's about the payment using the Bitcoin. Masa tu cryptocurrency. Okay, ini one of the attack dekat big company. Okay, function virus ni. Okay, ini sebenarnya berkaitan dengan chapter 5, tapi saya cerita sikit lah. Okay, virus ni dia attack dekat big company punya server atau dia punya data center. Okay, so apa yang dia buat? Virus ni akan lock semua data. So, company tu tak boleh access data dia sendiri sebab dia kena lock. Data tu has been locked by the viruses. Okay, but maksudnya dia tebusan dia ialah data lah. Maksudnya ransom maksudnya ransom. Okay, dia minta wang tebusan untuk korang dapat balik data. For you to access the data, korang kena bayar for certain amount of fee lah. Tapi bayaran dia dalam bentuk Bitcoin zaman tu, 2017. Okay, kenapa Bitcoin? Kenapa bayaran dia dalam bentuk Bitcoin? Bitcoin ni ialah transaction yang korang tak tahu dengan siapa korang buat transaction sebenarnya. Okay, maksudnya for example dia minta bayaran dia 10 Bitcoin saja. Okay, 10 Bitcoin. Macam kita 10 Bitcoin. If you know about the Bitcoin price right now, okay, ialah RM209,000 for 1 Bitcoin. Sekarang ya. Okay, kalau dia minta 10 Bitcoin pun, dia ada 2 juta. Okay, so the price is 2 million ringgit for 10 Bitcoin. Kalau dia minta 1000 Bitcoin, so you can imagine lah. Okay, the transaction for Bitcoin ni korang tak tahu dengan siapa korang buat transaction. Dia tak macam bank yang kita pakai sekarang ni. Okay, maybe some of you know about Bitcoin mining, okay, cryptocurrency. That's it, we talk about the Bitcoin right now. Okay, it's a cryptocurrency. We don't know who and dengan siapa kita buat transaction tu. Okay, dia bagi je list, then you need to transfer the Bitcoin money through the cryptocurrency account. Okay, yang ni attack berlaku dekat dunia, termasuk Malaysia ada 2 organisasi yang kena attack. One of the organisation is IPTS, satu lagi bisnes lah. Okay, IPTS tu saya tak nak cerita lah, korang boleh cari kot which IPTS dan effect dengan ransomware WannaCry tahun 2017. Okay, that's the function of the operating system, antivirus program lah, to protect your computer or your devices from virus or threat. Okay, ada satu lagi cerita saya nak share. Okay, maybe some of you install antivirus dekat komputer ataupun phone. Okay, kalau boleh jangan install more than one antivirus. Okay, sebab apa? Okay, antivirus ni you can imagine like security guard. Okay, so all files that transfer between your storage, okay, and all the activities inside your computer will be monitored or filter by the antivirus. Okay, kalau contoh korang pergi mall kan, korang akan lalu dekat entrance dia. Dekat entrance dia automatically memang ada security guard yang akan jaga. Okay, you can imagine one security guard tu as one antivirus program. Kalau korang install more than one antivirus, then you need to pass through every security guard that installed in your devices. Okay, so bila korang install more than one antivirus, so each file yang korang nak buka for example, okay, dia akan lalu all the antivirus that you have been installed. So that's make your computer or the process of your computer is very slow. Okay, so install satu pun cukup dah, tak perlu banyak-banyak. Okay, kalau tak memang slow lah komputer korang. Okay, next is the file compression program. so this program helps to reduce the file size and to save the storage space and make the sending the file over the internet more efficient. Okay, for example, you can install WinRAR, okay, 7-zip, okay, WinZip. Okay, there's an example of the free file compression that you can install. Okay. Okay, this is a system maintenance program. Okay, so this program helps to manage a system resource. Okay, for example, backup programs. Okay, used to make a copy of file in case the original are lost or damaged. Okay, but the backup program is for computer right now, you need to do manually, or you can set automatically for certain period of time. Okay, so you can set in your Windows, for example. Okay, for Windows okay, you can go to the Windows file history, okay, background backup, or you can install a crash plan, okay, for your Windows. Okay, but here you need to remember, okay, backup program ni dia makan space dekat storage korang. Okay, sebab dia create a duplicate file for the backup. Okay, for example, kalau korang terdelete yang asal, okay, then you replace or you reset using the backup, okay, file tu ada. Okay, maksudnya dalam storage korang, for example, you have a storage for half tera, 500 GB of storage. Okay, file yang korang ada sekarang, for example, 100 GB. Okay, when you do backup, dia akan allocate lagi 100 untuk duplicate the same file inside your storage. So sebenarnya dia makan space dalam storage korang bila korang buat backup program using the own storage. Okay, if you have a different kind of or external storage for backup, then it is more suitable lah. Okay, sebab dia tak makan storage yang ada dalam devices korang. Korang pakai storage yang lain. Okay. And the second one is the troubleshooting program. Okay, so troubleshooting program used to identify and correct any problem in your computer before they become more serious. Okay, for example, bila korang connect kepada Wi-Fi, okay, but you have a difficulties or your device cannot connected to the Wi-Fi, dia akan keluarkan troubleshooting program. Okay, so troubleshooting program ni untuk identify and correct any problem for the from the system or the function lah. Okay, for example, connect Wi-Fi tak boleh connect, so dia akan measure dulu. Okay, then is give you a solution. Okay, either is can provide the solution or not is depend on the troubleshooting program. Okay, it's depend on the troubleshooting program itself. Okay, next we have the device driver. So device driver is a program to allow the computer to communicate with the devices that are connected to it. Okay, so for example, bila korang beli mouse baru, okay, tak pun pendrive baru, bila korang cucuk for the first time dekat port tu, automatically korang akan nampak kan installing device program. Korang tak boleh open lagi file tu, or you cannot use lagi device tu, sebab it's installing the device driver for your devices to communicate with the external devices that you are connected to the computer. Okay, so after certain minute or second, okay, bila dia dah complete installation, then you can use the devices. Okay, sama juga bila korang beli printer sekarang ni. Okay, ada certain printer dia plug and play. Okay, cucuk je automatic boleh pakai. Ada certain printer they give you a CD for you to install the device driver. Okay, so basically device driver ni we can imagine like the bridging between two devices. Okay, sebab we have our own computer and we want to send the instruction, okay, or give the instruction for another devices to be function based on our instruction from our computer. Okay, then that's the function of the device driver. Okay. Okay, the last one is about the language translator. Okay, so language translator are program that translate the instruction within a program language into a machine language. Okay. So for example, we have the Java interpreter and Microsoft Visual C++ are example of the language translator. So basically banyak lagi lah. Okay, Dev C++ nanti kau akan ambil subjek programming, so nanti kau akan faham. Okay, how to develop a system or instruction of your program. Okay, for example, you want to create a calculator using Dev C++ ke, or you want to create a receipt, for example, using Dev C++. Yes, it can. Okay, basically the language translator dia sama macam manusia saja. Okay, we have apa? Bahasa Melayu, ada English, okay, Japan, Korea, apa lagi? There are a lot of language. For example, kita tak tahu nak communicate dengan another. For example, kita tak belajar bahasa Korea. Then you want to talk with someone that native language dia adalah Korea. Dia tak tahu cakap bahasa Melayu or English, for example. Then you need to have the language translator. Okay, sama juga dengan komputer. Sebab komputer ni they have a lot of language. Okay, for example, Dev C using C punya programming lah. Okay, C programming. Android Studio dia guna Java punya language. Okay, Visual Studio Visual Studio tak silap saya dia pakai Visual Studio tak apa C kot. Okay, and Jupyter is one of the application for Python language. So dia sebenarnya komputer ni pun banyak language dia. Okay. Apa PHP, there are a lot of language lah. So you need to have the operating system that can be used to as a language translator between the apps. Okay. So that's why the operating system used to facilitate or maintain or run the application software. Okay, because dia boleh faham another language yang lain. Okay, any question for operating system before we move to the application software? Tak ada. Okay, let's continue for application software. Okay. So application software is any program designed for end user. Okay, end user maksudnya kita adalah end user lah. Okay. Any end user program can be called an application. User use application software to complete their daily tasks. Okay, daily tasks for example for communication ke, chat ke, okay, to watch a video. Okay, that's an example of the daily task. Okay. So the application software categorized into three. Okay, the first one is the general purpose application. Okay, the second one is the specialized application. Okay, the third one is the mobile apps. We call mobile applications. Okay. Okay, for the first one is the general purpose apps. Okay, used to accomplish a broad range of tasks as opposed to custom software which accomplish tasks specific to user requirement. Okay, for example, we have the word processor. Okay, we have the spreadsheet, presentation graphic, and also database management system or DBMS. Okay. So word processor, I think your lab sheet one is using the Microsoft Word. Okay, there's an example of the word processor. Okay, so word processor used to create a text-based document. Okay, such as a letter, you want to create a report, memo, or any kind of written materials. Okay, even though you can put a picture and so on, you can tabulate the data. Okay, you can put inside the word processor. Okay, for example, not only we have the Microsoft Word, okay, you can use Apple Page, okay, OpenOffice, and also Google Docs. Google Docs you can use using online kan. Okay, so that's example of the word processor. Okay, the second one we have the spreadsheet. Okay, used to create a workbook so that user can organize numbers, okay, analyze them as well as create graph and to visual in a numerical data. Okay, so spreadsheet ni, for example, Microsoft Excel, nanti kita akan belajar dekat Microsoft Excel nanti lah. Okay, for example, I track the spreadsheet as a simple database and also you can do calculation on the spreadsheet. Okay, kau boleh calculate sum, mean, max, average. It's like word processor with a calculator function. Okay, so that's example of the function of the spreadsheet. Okay. Okay, next we have the presentation graphic. Okay, for example, PowerPoint yang korang nampak sekarang ni ialah presentation graphic. Okay, you can put a picture, text, okay, and also video, links and so on. Okay, that's for presentation graphics. Okay. And last one is the database management system or DBMS. Okay. So DBMS is used to set up an electronic database. Okay. For example, we have the Microsoft Excel, okay, Oracle, IBM DB2, Qubit, Fiber and MySQL. Okay. So siapa yang ambil software engineering nanti, subjek ICT lah. Okay. Pergi ke kuliah ICT, kau akan belajar subjek database. Okay. Bila kau belajar subjek database, korang automatically korang akan belajar pasal Oracle ataupun MySQL. Ataupun akan belajar dua-dua. Okay, saya dulu belajar dua-dua. So, what's the function of the database management system ni? Okay, so here are some features of the DBMS. Okay, kita ada table, we have the form, query and also the report. Okay. Okay. You can imagine like you create a new account for your Facebook. Okay, korang subscribe new account for Facebook kan. Korang kena isi nama korang, okay, contact number, okay, some information that requested by the Facebook page. Okay. So after you fill all the information that needed by the Facebook page, you click sama ada submit ke, create account ke, login ke and so on. Okay. All the information will be sent into the data center to store the data. Okay, and all the information that submit to the data center will be saved in a table. Okay, kita tak cakap table tu meja. You can imagine table tu sama macam table of data. Sekejap Okay, when you play with Microsoft Word for example, okay, korang boleh insert kan? Okay, insert. Here we talk about the table. Okay, and database management kita pakai word yang sama, table. Okay, table ni maksudnya kita nak buat table of info lah. For example, here is the name, okay, number, handphone number. Okay, so this is the some of the information that sent to the and save into the data center in a table. Okay, table of information of the user lah to create the account. Okay, so ini ialah example table. Okay, you can go to the insert tab dekat atas ni, bawah ni table. Okay, this is the same thing that we are talking in the DBMS. Okay, for example, name Ahmad, Abu, blah blah blah, semua information will be stored in a table. Okay. Okay, after your information is stored into a table, okay, you want to sort the data or filter the data for certain requirement only. Tak pun we call it as a query. Okay, you queue only for certain kind of data or behavior. For example, data tu datang daripada region Malaysia, tak pun Pahang, Kuantan, KL and so on. Okay, tak pun you want to queue only this subject of list of student and for this section only, for certain section only. Okay, query ni maksudnya from the big table of information data tu, you queue untuk data apa yang korang nak. Okay, that's the function of the queries lah. Okay. And the result of the queries we call as a report. Okay, so korang print lah report, sama ada you save as a soft copy or hard copy printed lah. Okay, so that's example of the function of the database management system. Okay, so basically all your information bila korang enroll ke UIA ni, okay, korang punya nama, contact number, email, okay, matching number, semua dah akan simpan dalam one big table. Okay, then you can manipulate the data using a query and to create one report or many reports. Okay, for example, one of the report is your class list lah. Maksudnya dalam kelas saya is based on the query for this subject. Okay, and this list of student for my class. Okay, Okay, second one is the specialized application. Okay, so it is a more specific and focused on a certain job or profession only. Okay, so for example, we have a desktop publishing, okay, image editor, illustration, drawing project or program, project management, and also web authoring program. Okay, for example, for graphic program kan, untuk desktop publishing or page layout, okay, you can use Microsoft Publisher, for example, Adobe InDesign or QuadExpress. Okay. And for image or photo editing, okay, mungkin yang pernah pakai Adobe Photoshop kan. Adobe Photoshop is used to manipulate the image or the photo itself. Okay. Selain daripada tu, korang boleh pakai Adobe Illustrator for drawing or illustration program. Okay, nak buat icon ke, nak buat design baru kan. Okay, design baru for drawing you can use Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW ataupun Inkscape. Okay, for image or photo editing or photo manipulation you can use Adobe Photoshop. Okay, mungkin some of you pernah guna ataupun pernah dengar about Adobe Photoshop. Okay, it's for image or photo editing function. Okay, kalau nak gelapkan image tu ke, okay, you want to play with the you want to crop, for example, you can use the Adobe Photoshop. Okay. Okay, next we have the web authoring program. So web page can be created using a program such as Adobe Dreamweaver. Okay, Adobe Dreamweaver you can use as a web authoring program. Okay, so this program used to create a web page or web document. Okay. Okay, for web authoring program, it's referred to what you see is what you get. Okay, they have the limitation of the program or the functionality of the templates. Okay, for example, kalau korang pernah pakai Google Sites, okay, Google Sites is very limited function. Okay, maksudnya apa yang korang nampak daripada template tu, itu saja yang korang dapat. Okay, if you want to customize from zero, you can use, for example, for Dreamweaver, you can customize the icon, okay, where you can put the header of the file, okay, the theme, okay, and also anything you can customize yourself, but it's have the limitation of the software itself. Okay. Okay, macam ada seorang tanya tadi about Adobe Flash. Okay, so specialized program such as Flash is used to create movies that can be part of the websites. So basically, Adobe Flash ni use untuk video presentation saja. Okay, for example, the browser is not supported for Flash. Okay, for you to play the video on your browser, then you need to install the Flash. Okay, but now Adobe Flash is not served anymore by the Adobe. Okay, dia dah turn down the updates and also Flash itself. Okay, dia dah tak ada dah. So basically your browser or your websites need to have a certain or another software to play the video. Okay, instead of Flash. Okay, for example, nanti ada yang jadi web developer kan, then I think you will learn about this lah. What's the another example of software that you can use to replace for the Flash. Okay. And also, one of the function to make your websites more interesting for the user to go to your websites. Okay, we have the cascading style sheet, or we call it as CSS. Okay, so the use of the CSS is used to define style or web page for your web page. Okay, style, for example, color, okay, how the pattern appears, ada shadow ke, ada interpolate ke, or how the video, okay, how the size of your text bar or your button, for example. Okay, you can custom by using the CSS. Okay. And for designing a website may begin with planning the overall design using a graphical sitemap. Okay, graphical sitemap ni korang boleh imagine macam carta organisasi. Okay, from the top of the biasanya kita pergi kepada homepage lah. Okay. For example, kalau korang pergi dekat Facebook, okay, bila korang login saja, automatically dia akan pergi dekat homepage. Okay. So from the homepage, any side page that you can click, for example, contact ke, okay, newsfeed ke, story ke, okay, online gaming, video ke, and so on. It depends. Okay. But here is the function of the graphical sitemap. From that side page, where you can go. Okay, the flow of or the links between another side page to another side page. Okay, so that's the function of the graphical sitemap. And last for the point number 2 is a project management software. Okay, so project management software, for example, they are using Gantt chart. Okay, nanti engineering automatically kau akan belajar pasal Gantt chart ni, termasuklah ICT. Yeah, ICT and also the engineering student lah. Okay, so basically the project management software is used for project planning. Okay, for project planning, scheduling, okay, resource allocation and also change management. Okay, kenapa kita cakap dia adalah one of the project planning software? Okay, for example, untuk hari ni dengan esok, apa yang korang plan for your project? Okay, sama ada nak collect data ke, nak review documents, for example. Okay, and also you can schedule how many people on this task. Okay, how many budget, okay, or how many money that you want to invest for this task or job. Okay, so you can using the project management software to monitor or to view all the activities for your whole project. And also you can do a change management. For example, after a few days that you think you still lack of information that you need to gather, okay, maybe you can extend with certain kind of budget and also the days that you want to extend. Okay, so that's the function of the project management software. Okay, the last one we have the mobile applications. So mobile apps is, I think commonly semua orang tahu kot. Semua orang ada mobile apps kan, mobile phone kan. So you need to go to mobile apps to install your applications. Okay, so mobile is a computer program designed to run on mobile devices such as a smartphone and tablets computer. Okay, for example, commonly used is for social networking kan. We have the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay, for messaging, you can install a WhatsApp, Telegram and so on. For shopping, we have Lazada, Shopee, apa lagi? Banyak lagi lah. Okay, and also for music video, you can install Netflix, YouTube and many more lah. Okay, banyak lagi. Okay, selain pada tu, we have also the QR codes. I think QR codes is most familiar right now. Lagi-lagi, it's about the MySejahtera punya apps. Okay, you need to scan the QR codes before you enter the premise. Okay, so basically, what's the QR code? Okay, so QR code consists of black modules or square dots arranged in a square grid on a white background. Okay, and all the information that related on the premises or the product, okay, is stored inside the arrangement of the QR code itself. Okay, so dia macam barcode lah. Barcode tu it consists of some information. Okay, so sama juga macam QR code. QR code ni when you scan, will show you some detail of for example, the product ke, premises ke, and so on. Okay, maybe it's a link to another website or is a link to certain website and so on. Okay, you can embed it into a QR codes. Okay. And also we have the App Store. Okay, for example, for Apple user, you can go to the Apple App Store. Okay, for Android user, you can go to the Google Play. Okay, who are using the Microsoft phone, okay, you can go to Microsoft Store to install the application for your devices. Okay. And software suites for mobile, okay, dia sama juga for productivity use. For example, we have the Office for productivity. You can install Microsoft Office, Okay, Apple iWorks, Open Office, and so on lah. It depends on your which application that you want to use. Okay, and also they have a cloud and an online suite. For example, Google Docs, okay, Google Suite, Microsoft Office 365, and banyak lagi lah. Okay, so that's example of the cloud and or online software suites that you can maybe it's already installed when you buy your phone, okay, or any mobile devices that you have, or you can install directly later after you have access to your mobile devices. Okay, I think that's all for chapter 2. Any question before we end our class for today?